to do here. We need to push the search button. Something's down there. Wow, what is that? What is that screen? How come it doesn't have my screen?
Don't know.
So exciting, these things. Am I not plugged in exactly correctly? That's somebody's computer. That's my computer, my image. Because it had the bottom. It's got these things on the toolbar. You know what I'm saying? See those icons? Which is weird. It's been like 2 months since we've done this, so maybe that's what's wrong. Okay. But the technical aspect of it all.
You'll have to describe it to us.
Well, it's not fair. I've got everything loaded up on my.
It's just the.
You don't have access to this feature.
We think, Kenneth.
I don't know how to fix it on the fly right now.
Yeah. You know how my desktop is like cluttered with all kinds of stuff? And nothing. All right, people don't want to watch this stuff. Well, so what I wanted to do was a couple things tonight. One was to talk about a sermon on Sunday and discuss anyone's take on it. I don't say this very much, but I actually really like that sermon because it was covenantal in the fact that the 5 fountainheads of covenant theology from the Old Testament were discussed. Your device needs to restart and install updates. Maybe that's part of what's going on. And so you've got Adam, and he's the covenant of works, covenant of life. Then you have Noah. And everyone discusses Noah because of the obvious covenant sign of the rainbow. There is some kind of change in the world. The what do you want to call it? The earthly structure and relationships between man and animals. Man's eating meat now. Capital punishment is instituted. There's like this change that happens with Noah. And maybe also the notion that God is going to save families and preserve them in his way. I don't know if anyone has something coming to their mind that, this is the big thing why we remember Noah, apart from the rainbow, in covenant theology. So if anyone has anything, speak now, forever hold your peace. And then we move on to Abraham. Obviously, he is the covenant figurehead of God establishing a covenant with him and his family. And that even the New Testament is repeatedly discussing how we are connected to Abraham. And um, looming large among Abraham is the sign of circumcision. I'm trying to think if anything else that was really important. Certainly the selection of Isaac over Ishmael, the promise of God supplying a lamb, he says a lamb. And that's huge to Christian theology. We've talked about how in ancient iconography, the images, yeah, my computer wants to update. The number one popular image in early Christian iconography is Abraham and his son Isaac. And the Christians saying this is a portrayal of Christ in the Old Testament. Now we are to look for Christ everywhere in the Old Testament. After Abraham comes Moses. I mean, that is covenant, covenant, covenant. Everything about Moses is covenant. How many signs are equated with his work? Certainly the Ten Commandments, certainly the Sabbath as a sign for covenant keeping, all the laws, all the dietary laws, the laws about the pilgrimages, the sacrifices. I mean, everything spins out of this guy. So what people say about the covenants is that they keep expanding, telescoping, but also in an interesting way, they start defining and narrowing someone who's going to be the only one who can fulfill all these covenants. And then we get to David. Of course, I make a case for the priests having a covenant as well. God said there'd always be a priest. But King David is promised this throne and is promised to be, he's almost messianic in the way that he preserves and defends Israel. When Jesus was on the scene, he's called the Son of David. So, if you're going to adopt covenant theology as being a interpretive grid for you're not seeing anything that's showing. It wants me to restart now, so why not? If you're looking